Takeaways time from the T20Is then. India take a commanding 4-1 series win over Australia, a series that started 4 days after the ODI World Cup final between these two sides, but one that has so much significance given that both teams have only a handful of T20Is left to play before they train their guns on the T20 World Cup of 2024. Let's jump straight in and let's start with India's openers. Yashasvi Jaiswal and Ruturaj Gaikwad both played a couple of innings of note in this series. Jaiswal with 53 of 25 in the second game, a game where Gaikwad also scored a half century. But for Gaikwad, the big knock was that century in game 3. That was a knock that ensured that Gaikwad finished with the weight of runs, India's highest scorer in this series, and all at a healthy strike rate at that. For Jaiswal, the strike rate was even better, but he doesn't quite finish with the volume of runs, which we've noticed tends to make quite an impact when India pick their top order batters. Will either of them manage to upset the apple cart? They are in a 5 or 6 horse race with the likes of Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, of course, always around the horizon when India do firm their T20I opening plans. The middle order was also going to be something that was viewed on with a keen eye, especially with respect to the players who are new on the fold. And let's just go through the series. Rinku Singh, we've spoken about him so much through the series. He finishes with a strike rate of 175 and most vitally telling cameos almost every time he batted, which is so crucial for the role he's trying to make his own in the Indian setup. He saw off the chase in the first game. There was that blitz in the second game, 31 of 9, which propelled India to 230 plus. And then there was that 46 odd of 29 balls in Raipur, which was again so key to India getting to what was eventually just above par total. So Rinku Singh ticking most boxes for himself as India's potential number 5 or 6 going into the T20 World Cup. Among the others, Jitesh Sharma got a look in the last 2 games and didn't really put a foot wrong. 35 of 19 was vital. He had the partnership with Rinku Singh in that game in Raipur, and then he had a cameo in Bangalore as well. You might have wanted to see a bit more of Tilak Verma. He only featured in the first 3 games, only batted a handful number of balls, so can't really judge much of his series. India perhaps would have wanted to have seen a little more of him to get a better idea of how much or how well he fits into their main plans in the format. Let's shift our attention to the bowlers, and in the spin department, it was a standout series for Ravi Bishnoi. It started on a bad note, 1 for 54 in the first game for him, but he regrouped brilliantly after that. Vital contributions in all 4 games. Beyond that, incredibly economical in the last couple of games. And an important series for him because he's seen Yuzvendra Chahal move out of the reckoning in T20Is. He wasn't in this squad. Chahal hasn't been picked for the South Africa series either. So Bishnoi making all the right moves to ensure that he remains ahead in the pecking order as far as that right arm wrist spin role goes. His spin partner, Akshar Patel, an interesting series for him. His last 2 games were real standout performances, 3 for 16 in Raipur and 1 for 14 in the last game in Bangalore. But these 2 games came after the knowledge that he's not part of India's squad for the South Africa T20Is. So 2 big performances in that regard from Akshar Patel, just ensuring that he remains in the selector's mind, even though he might not have made the cut for the South Africa series. For India's pacers, Mukesh Kumar stands out, not just because his economy is among the lowest, 9.12, but some really credible spells. That first game, none for 29 in a 200 game, you won't remember it in the scorecards, but a spell worth its weight in gold. And then he showed those chops, finishing chops in the last game in Bangalore as well. So credit to Mukesh Kumar in what was a tough series for the Pacers. Right, so we've covered openers, we've covered middle order, spin, pace. We haven't covered all-rounders. But that's because even India haven't covered all-rounders because another bilateral series has come and gone where India have not shown any attempts of building an all-round base. At no point in this series was a 6th bowler used, and at no point in this series did India have real batting depth beyond Akshar Patel at number 7. It's a question that's been repeated enough, and it's a question that surely will be repeated more in these 6 months leading up to the T20 World Cup. But isn't it time India start working on all-round resources in white ball cricket?